Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today I am in the chicken coop and we're going to be cleaning it out. It is long overdue for a clean. So I'm also going to be getting some herbs from my herb garden and add into their nesting boxes, and I'll explain the reason behind that as well. So before we get into it, just make sure that you are subscribed to our channel, and at the end of the video, if you do enjoy it, give us a thumbs up. So let's get started. So to get started with cleaning our coop, I put the roost on a hook on the ceiling just to make scooping the pine shavings easier, and then I took out anything that didn't need to be in there. So I took out the eggs that the chickens had already laid that day and put them in the house, and then we did have a couple of eggs marked that we were letting one of our broody hens lay on. I just moved those outside of the coop into the shade. And then I just left their feeder and water in the coop, as well as the bin that we keep their extra food in. And then I started scooping out shavings into the wheelbarrow to put in our compost bin. So in our chicken coop, we do something called the deep litter method, which is basically where instead of frequently cleaning out our coop, you just let the chicken droppings and shavings build up. And over time, the bedding and the droppings will start to decompose inside the coop. And then once you do remove it all and put it in the compost bin, it'll already be partially decomposed. So using this method saves us a lot of time, so we're not constantly cleaning the coop out completely and starting over with fresh shavings either every week or every month whenever people normally clean out their coop. Now, to do the deep litter method, what happens is you start with a fresh layer of bedding, and we just use pine shavings. You can use whatever you prefer, but you want to start with a nice layer of that on the coop floor, and then once that starts to look a little dingy or like it's dwindling down, you want to add a thin layer of shavings over top. You don't have to do a thick one, just fill in those spots that are the most dwindled down or the dirtiest. And then just keep doing that until the bedding is really thick. So when it becomes really thick, when it's about 8 to 12 inches high, that's when you want to remove most of the bedding and move it to your compost bin. Some other benefits that the deep litter method provides is that your chickens will have a fluffy and kind of absorbent floor to walk on. And then using the deep litter method in the winter actually provides a little bit of warmth to the coop because it adds insulation. I'm just personally a huge fan of it because of how low maintenance it is. We only have to completely clean out the coop a few times a year by following this method. If you do decide to use this method in your chicken coop, just make sure that you do have good airflow within the coop. It's important to keep the bedding aerated, and your chickens will actually help accomplish this just because they are constantly scratching and turning that bedding over, so they'll help it as well. So that's just a little bit of what we like to do in our coop. If you're more comfortable cleaning out your coop more often and cleaning it out completely, more power to you. I just love how low maintenance the deep litter method is.
Shadows of the morning are crawling on my floor, when I just wanna lie here, nothing less, nothing more. There's raindrops on my window, and I'm going nowhere fast. Behind these closed eyes I visualize what will come and what is past. But mama, turn the light on.
Alright, now on to the dreaded piles of poop. It does not smell like roses in here, I'll say that much. But I've scooped out most of the pine shavings. There's still some like against the walls and on the floor. There's some small pieces, but that I don't really care about that much. But I'm going to start working on these piles of poop back here. They all kind of seem to be back towards the back because of the roost. The chickens roost on that top bar at night, and when they poop, obviously it falls back there. And that is also why these laminate tiles are on the back. And this wasn't our idea, this was actually the previous owner's idea. So kudos to them, that was genius. Because if you just had a painted wall like we have in the rest of the coop, it would be disgusting. So these laminate tiles, you can come in here and just spray it clean. Now personally, I think it can wait until we clean out the coop next time to be sprayed. But that's the great thing about having these on the back. When they're on the top of the roost at night and they use the bathroom and it gets on that back wall, it's super easy to clean. So anyways, I'm procrastinating enough. Let's get started with the poop.
In my head, shout out, I beg, 'cause I got something to prove. So when I say, mama, turn the light on, understand just what I mean. When I'm asleep I will dream, and when I wake you will see that even as I lie here thinking where I'll be in 5 years, I know today is all I ever got. I know today will be my best shot. Sitting on the edge of my bed, waiting by the river, waiting by the river. I found a little piece of homestead, waiting by the river, waiting by the river. It's clear to see I'm free, yeah, waiting by the river, waiting by the river. I'm chasing these dreams, awake or asleep.
Okay, most of the poop is out of here, so now last but not least we're going to move on to the nesting boxes. And I have gotten quite a lot of questions about these nesting boxes. They're actually not supposed to be nesting boxes. I got these from Walmart in the home and garden section, the organization section. The only downside with this is sometimes the chickens like to kick the pine shavings out the side, but for the most part it works great. It did have this little wooden part on the bottom already there, so that helps keep a lot of the pine shavings in. So I'm going to empty them all anyways and then put some new pine shavings in.
I'm chasing these dreams awake. I'm chasing these dreams awake. I'm chasing these dreams awake or asleep. Awake or asleep.
Got a brand new day, good love is on the way. And if you take my hand, I'll walk with you to Georgia. Have you ever been in love, dove in from high above? And if the answer's no, well then I'd like to get to know you. And though I know these lights are blinding, I will guide us home. I don't know what I've been told. The weather outside is not that cold. And if you take my hand, I'll walk with you to Georgia. And I don't know what those men see, but I see you right next to me. And if you take my hand, I'll walk with you to Georgia. Got a brand new night, and good love will soon arrive. And when it does.
So we've got all our nesting boxes filled up with pine shavings. So what I'm going to be doing now is putting herbs into each one. So there are many different reasons why you would put herbs into nesting boxes. They're just very, number one, nutritious for chickens when they eat them, but also just the aroma and just being in contact with the herbs is very beneficial to chickens. And each herb has its own specific benefits related to the chickens. I don't know if I've actually ever told you guys that we have a blog on our YouTube channel, but we do. It's thegallowayfarmblog.com, and I post recipes, helpful tips, a few things on there, so if you want to check that out. But on our blog I actually have a post up now, and I've kind of taken some herbs and I've made different combinations that you can use with those herbs in your chicken coop, in your nesting boxes. You can go on several different websites and just find a long list of herbs and just see the benefits beside it. But I thought it would be really helpful to see those herbs in action and see which herbs, if I put together, will they be the most beneficial? Or if I put a group of herbs together, what will that group accomplish specifically? So I did that on our blog. If you're interested, go check that out. And today I actually have one of those combinations. So on the blog I think I did herbs for healthy eggs, general health, a clean coop, combating illnesses, and I think there's one more, but I can't remember. And today we are going to be doing the general health combination of herbs. So in that combination we have some sage, we have parsley, basil, and thyme. And that's all just kind of mixed together right here. So the purpose of the basil is it is very good for mucous membrane health. So that's why I added it to this combination of herbs. And then we have the sage. That one is an anti-parasitic herb, antibacterial, and it's also an antioxidant. I added the thyme in to boost the chicken's immune system, and I added the parsley in because it's very high in nutrients and it's going to help boost the chicken's circulatory health and digestive health. So I'm going to go ahead and start to add an equal amount of each herb into the nesting boxes. And one thing that's also pretty cool, like I mentioned, the aroma is very good for the chickens, and it will also attract the chickens to the nesting boxes. So if you're having trouble with your chickens laying like on the bottom of the coop or just not in their nesting box, these herbs will help attract them to the nesting boxes so they can lay in there instead.
Knows all my strength, knows all my weakness, reminding me that I was a child, reminding me that I'm coming home, I am coming home. I wanna lay on these old streets, I wanna stay here for a while, I wanna go to where we used to, I wanna do the things that we used to do, 'cause I'm coming home, 'cause you are my home, yeah, yeah, my sweet, sweet home. Oh, my brother's in the backyard, my mama's standing.
So we've cleaned out our chicken coop. We've got the new pine shavings in. We have guest appearance from our meat chickens that we decided not to butcher yet because that is the Freedom Ranger. That usually lasts longer than the jumbo Cornish cross chickens. So when we butchered the other chickens, that one was still too small. So we're just letting it live its best life right now. It was free ranging today and somehow it made its way in here. Anyways, we've got our herbs in our nesting boxes. So all I have to do now is put the roost back down where it is attached to the little hook in the ceiling and give the chickens a fresh scoop of food, and I think we will be good.
I wanna do the things that we used to do, 'cause I'm coming home, 'cause you are my home, yeah, yeah, my sweet, sweet home.
And of course I can't feed the chickens without Hank getting jealous, so I'm giving him his food now. Get out of there. So that's going to be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed and I hope you learned something new. Don't forget, you can go to thegallowayfarmblog.com to see all of the different herb combinations and how they benefit your chickens. And if you did like this video, remember to give it a thumbs up, make sure you are subscribed, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.